I want to quickly run you through how to access Wesleyan's databases as well as how to use them effectively for searching for sources for our scholarly peer-reviewed requirements. So in order to access Dakota Wesleyan's databases, what you first need to do is to go to library.dwu.edu. So library.dwu.edu. Once you have gotten to this web page, then what I would like you to do is to click on Business. And then I would like you to click on Databases and Journals. So here you have a long list of subject databases where you can find journals. Now, all of this information would be considered reliable information. But for our informal report and for our formal report, we will need to find scholarly peer-reviewed sources. So while you can use all of these to find reliable information in order to find scholarly and peer-reviewed sources, we are going to go to Business Source Premier. So let's click on Business Source Premier. After you click on Business Source Premier, you may need to add in your username and password. This is the same username and password that you use to get into your email. Once you have done that, this page should appear. Now, this database does not have solely peer-reviewed material. It also has material that is just reliable. So if we are looking for peer-reviewed or scholarly material, we need to click the Peer-Reviewed Scholarly Journals tab down here. So be sure that is clicked when you are looking for scholarly peer-reviewed sources. We should also click the Full Text tab. Wesleyan does not have access to all of the articles within Business Source Premier. By clicking this Full Text tab, that ensures that all of our results we have immediate access to. Also, since we are writing a business report, we want to find up-to-date information. Information on tax software, for instance, is going to look very different when it's from the 1980s or 1990s than what it will look like from 2020 to 2010. So we are going to put in a published date of between 2010 and 2020. Now you can potentially go back as far as 2000, but we should not go back any further than that to find our information. We want our information to be as up-to-date as possible. 2010 to 2020 would be ideal within the last decade. Once we have checked the Full Text tab, the Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals tab, and put in our limiting years, we should then begin our searches. Before we put in search terms, however, we should change Select a Field to TX Alt Text for all of our search fields. If we leave that as Select a Field, the database will go through and search the journal title and the abstract, and that is it. By switching this over to TX Alt Text, the database will go through and search the title, the abstract, and the entire article itself for our search terms. This will give us infinitely better results. Once we have changed these search terms over to TX Alt Text, we then need to identify what words we should use to actually search for relevant articles. It's important to remember that this database is not Google. It does not have the money that Google has to hone its search algorithm. Within Google, you can put in an entire sentence, hit enter, and it will filter through that and give you the most relevant results. EBSCOhost does not have that capability, so we need to think carefully about our search terms and put in 1 to 2 word phrases that will help us find sources that will be relevant. So for instance, let's say that we are working on a topic that is looking at accounting software and how it can be beneficial for businesses. So our broad topic is going to be accounting. In addition to accounting, we're also going to talk about software. In addition to software, specifically we're going to talk about tax software. So by putting in single word search terms that relate to our topic, we should be able to find sources that are relevant. Now, Keep in mind, by this point in time, you have written a topic outline for your paper. Use that to your advantage. Go through your topic outline and use those as search terms that can help you find information that's going to be relevant to the paper. Once you've entered in your search terms, you've checked all your boxes, you've limited your publishing date, you can then search for information. So here we have multiple sources. So we have the effect of tax authority developed software on taxpayer compliance. Seems like that may be relevant. Exam, the role of accounting software in tax controversies. It seems as if the accounting software might help diffuse some issues if they arise with the IRS potentially. Searching for bytes and bits, an early history of computerized tax preparation through advertisements in accounting journals. So if you're looking for information for a background paragraph, it seems as if this article may be relevant. Overcoming obstacles with the right tax software. It seems like it would be extremely relevant to what we're looking for. So let's begin with this particular article. If we click on this, we will get more information, specifically who the authors are, the search terms that are used, or that this article is attached to, and then we have an abstract. So the abstract is a short summary of the article. While the title gives us an indication about what the article might be about, this abstract will be more specific. So when you found an article you think may be relevant, click into it and then read the abstract. So here the article discusses the finding of the 2017 annual survey of New York State practitioners conducted by this periodical. It states that the New York tax practitioners face new challenges during the 2017 tax season, most significantly the new driver's license reporting requirements and obtaining assistance from Internal Revenue Service and state representatives, and mentions that the respondents expressed overall satisfaction. It notes use of tax preparation and research software. And so it seems like this could potentially be relevant. To find out further, we can go over here and click on the PDF full text. Once the article actually loads, you can go through, read the article to see if it's actually relevant, and then if you want to, you can also download this particular article to your computer. A few things as you are going through and looking at sources, particularly on this article page. Over on the right-hand side of the page, you will note that there's a cite function. If you click on the cite function, you can then look for the APA, which is the citation method we are using in this course, and you can copy and paste this to your references page. Now, please keep in mind, these article titles and these citations are not perfect. You must proof them. This one has errors in it. For APA citation for a references page, the title of our article capitalizes the first word after a colon, period, question mark, or exclamation point, and any proper nouns. Here you can see we have capitalized every single word basically within the title. This is incorrect and needs to be changed before it is incorporated within our references page. So you must double check all of these citations before you actually submit your informal or your formal report. You can also see on the right hand side there's an email function, and I would highly suggest using this because this will send a copy of the article directly to your email so that you can have access to it. So here we have HTML, so basically just the text of the document, also the PDF. We want the PDF for sure. We don't necessarily need the HTML. We can also include our citation method. So here we want APA, that will send you the citation. Again, you must check that. Then you can type in your email address and then any kind of subject that you want to indicate what specific source this is and how it might function within your report. Before we conclude this brief lecture quickly, I do want to note one thing additionally about EBSCOhost and Business Source Premier. When you search within Google, more than likely you don't go past the first 5 or 6 search results because Google has a complex search algorithm that helps the most relevant sources be found the easiest way. EBSCOhost and Business Source Premier do not have this ability. So you may need to go to the second, the third page of these search results to find information that is going to be relevant. If you still do not find information at that point in time, then it's time to go back up to your search terms and to try to hone your search terms to find things that are more relevant. The searching for research process can be complex because we're looking for valid information. Be willing to take the time and put in the effort that it takes to find good sources so that the recommendations and findings of a report are going to be sound.